Так, что-то основного зрителя не вижу. Серега тут, брат? Мне надо, чтобы ты отметился. Иначе я загрущу вдвойне. Загрущу, зарыдаю. А не хотелось бы, конечно. Хотелось бы повзаимодействовать с тобой. Помолчит, да? Что значит?
Что ему не пришло уведомление, что ты подрубил.
Дает. Ладно, давай побродим немножко. Помним, что тут нам надо делать. Мы же начинали уже. Так, кислоступов 2. Перчатки мне не помогли. Я обрыгался весь. Понедельник. Задание. Так, найти катушку. Спеть под караоке. Это мы помним, да? Кто позвонил в участок, чтобы сообщить об убийстве? Кто-то позвонил. Новый свет на произошедшее. Вы знаете, с чего начать, однако звонить мог кто угодно. Рация Кима, чтобы позвонить Сильвии. Ну вот мы к тачке и пришли, собственно, да? Вы должны оплатить ущерб, нанесенный танцем в тряпье. Негде ночевать. Да, бабки, нужно бабки намутить. Сообщить о том, что потеряли удостоверение. Это тоже мы сейчас с тачки сделаем, да? Смотрите тело жертвы. Выберите и завершите мысль тряпка собирательства. Делаю все ща. Да я не могу его смотреть, я там обрыгался, но... Пороть рвотные позывы и пойти. Бля, я еще поел макаронов, которые всю ночь на плите стояли. Не знаю, мне может сейчас придется в реал-лайфе побороть. Ох, Санька. Так, что тут еще у нас? Им может ответить оставшийся у вас вопрос по поводу дела. Идите его на балконе после 10. Звонить в лазарет часто. Он предложил разобраться с проблемами со здоровьем. Мотокарета. Идите спиртное и выпейте, бля. Хватит, что каретой, бля, разберемся.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
This is the Kupris Kinema, my motor carriage. You can use the toolbox and the radio if you'd like.
Motor carriage. Something bad with a motor carriage. A dark lump rises in your throat.
Алло, мне слышно.
Да, слышно. Ты что, отлетал?
А что-то с интернетом происходит.
Yes, sorry about that. The Kupris Kinema does have a rather...
He says it with very badly concealed pride.
No, I'm afraid not. We have a murder case on our hands, remember?
Здорово, пацаны, на.
Помню. Здорово, здорово, Андрюха.
Как дела, пацаны наши?
Пошел в диско Elysium по запросу братишки. Братишки нет на стриме, ничего не отвечает, не пишет, бля.
Заебись, в диско Elysium сходил.
Не, ну ладно, сейчас, может, вкуримся. Может, вкуримся, залипнем на денек-другой.
Нет, ну вообще, я так понимаю, там надо просто, вникнуть нормально.
Ну, меня на ха-ха, на ха-ха пробрало меня тут разок с чего-то. Я уже не помню, что там было, но я прям в голосину хохотал, блядь, с этой хуйни.
Было.
Это было какое-то фанни, да.
Nothing. It's probably nothing. Forget I brought it up. Please proceed with the carefree lollygagging.
The Kupris motorcar does provide most of our patrol vehicles, yes.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers. A radio on a metallic drawer slides out from under the seat and clicks into place.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective of...
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. But what can you do? Work is work.
Так, а можно все забрать?
The
Монтировка.
pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand, heavier than you'd think. Cold and heavy, like truth. You feel useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids. The handles are long and sleek. Snap, snap, go the cutters in your hand.
Снэп, снэп. Взять
It's
фонарик.
robust, weatherproof, and well made.
Крепкий, водонепроницаемый, качественный, еще с динамом машины. Бля. Синяя модель, специально для полиции.
Lets you see things in the dark you would otherwise miss. The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge casts a warm glow on the steering levers and the radio on its
Прям в
hook.
той же ментовке, бля, причем.
The frequency tableau lights up and the green button labeled Prime Line glows. The soft purr of electrical kittens. Radio waves cast far and wide over the...
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you?
Я свое
Hello,
удостоверение, бля,
Alice.
просрал.
Please assist our colleague from the 41st precinct here. I'm
Нахуя?
putting him on.
Где-то, бля, правофлил, развлекался жестко.
С девками хоть.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5. This is 41st. Come in.
A scrawny old man sits in a dusty cubicle, smoking, with a large white rectangle sewn on his vest. In front of him is a box-shaped apparatus with an array of wires and antennas. The
10-4, what's your status? Over. 10-18, 10-20, over. State your message, sir. Over.
Ну, бля, ну я проебал
10-9,
удостоверение.
repeat message. Over.
Да похуй.
10-4, message received. This
Очень
is a
это
very
очень серьезная
serious
ситуация, Андрюха, ты не
situation.
прав.
I need to
Потребуется
10-22 the
10.
captain. Over.
22 капитану прием.
1022, the captain.
Звучит стрёмно.
This sounds bad.
По
Bad
директору, что ли,
and
бля.
scary.
А,
Is it him?
суки.
What
Ну,
does he
проебал.
want?
Мгм.
Says he lost his badge and needs to
Понаберут
report
нахуй.
it.
Хуй пойми
You what?
кого, блядь.
He lost his badge?
This is communication officer Jules Pidieux, sir.
Жюль Пидье
Over.
звонит, прием.
You mean your partner?
Я?
Over.
What is he saying?
He's asking who you are.
I'm his goddamn partner.
Жан Викман.
It's your partner, Satellite Officer Vitmar, sir.
Жан Вик?
Over.
Did he lose his memory along with his fucking badge?
Who lost his badge?
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
Я Дик Малин, бля, что ли? Ничего себе.
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge. Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
He says this has probably happened to other policemen before him and laughs sarcastically.
Oh goddamn it. Is he fucking kidding? The whole station's got...
Satellite Officer
That's
Vitmar
right,
is
now,
wondering if you
Shadilin.
might be joking and adds that this tarnishes the reputation of the entire station.
Хорош так.
Over.
Mullen dicked us.
Быков этих.
10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your...
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this. Dick Mullen,
What's going on?
Super Cop here, lost his badge.
He lost his what now?
His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
10-9, come again. I didn't get...
New heights even for Captain Sober.
Ask him. Ask
Ask him if he's lost his gun, too.
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost your gun too.
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is, do you? No. It's gone.
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over.
Ну ебать, конечно, сколько принес.
Even before you can get
Блять,
the words out,
неудача.
everything gets scrambled in your brain.
Ты неудачник.
He says he didn't lose his gun. Or his phone, whatever.
Ask him to describe it. His gun. Not his fun. Just the gun.
Satellite Officer McLean requests a description of your weapon.
The fuck do you need a gun for? Look at the pythons on your arms.
Нахер
You
тебе
are
пушку-то на
a
бицуху
gun.
свою посмотри, ты сам
The biggest
пушка,
one
бля.
in the world.
Мощнейшая пушка в мире, бля. Пойдет, одобряем такой подход.
Oh, request a description, huh? We'll give him one. Describe the plasma gun.
He says he's a living weapon and we are trying to trick him.
Host in heaven. Did he lose his gun?
Dear God, he lost his gun. Oh my, I can't.
This isn't really a laughing matter.
Mac can face a giant of Coco Nur by himself. Oh, I can't.
I'm not going to.
Ask him.
Sergeant Orson here is wondering if you are still in possession.
Now is a good time to say fuck and ass and so on. That'll make this all right.
Бля, ну это жестко. Они там, Андрюха, слышь, ты тут, брат?
Да.
Они там все смеются надо мной, что я потерял удостоверение пушку. И спрашивают, не потерял ли я письку свою.
Блять, пиздец.
И у меня есть вариант, забыл у его мамки, когда взад ее вчера пердолил. Так ему и передай, бля.
That's a negative. Not going to say that. Over.
Ой, блядь. Не буду я ему, блядь, говорить.
What's he saying? Share with the class.
He said he sodomized your mother.
The prick ate Mama's vanilla waffles at the captain's birthday party. Some nerve he's got.
Sure her vanilla waffles were the only thing?
Shut up, Chester. This isn't funny. Tell him to apologize right now.
Да, бля, извини.
Sergeant Orson
конечно.
requests that you apologize for the claims that you made about his mother. Over.
Бля, огнеходца, бля, пойдем.
Mac, he says you shouldn't have antagonized the firewalker in the first place.
Who?
Satellite Officer V. I'm afraid he might be referring to himself.
Fire, water? He's lost it. Fuck it. Tell him to find his goddamn badge and...
Satellite Officer V. Then for affirmative, officer in person.
Oh, God,
Мак Торсон, блядь. Да, жестко я по его мамке прошелся,
Officer, do you
конечно.
need further assistance? Over.
Так, ладно, мне еще
Then
бабка
for, I
нужна.
hear you. I don't have the authority to rent your...
What does he want now?
В смысле нету полномочий, я, блядь,
He's
госслужащий.
asking for
блядь.
money.
Is he fucking...
I don't think he is.
Don't give that asshole anything. He's just gonna
Пропьет.
drink it
Да
all.
мне нужны бабки за номер, блядь. Алло, пропьет нахуй. Сами переводите тогда.
That's a negative on the additional funds, sir.
Ах. На коленях вас молю. Расследование в высшей степени критично, чтобы мне выделили
This is
средства.
important to the case.
He isn't getting a red cent.
Request denied, sir.
Nothing is working.
Anything else, sir? Over.
Кое-что личное. давай.
Okay, then for...
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through. You're going to be looking at a straitjacket if you tell everyone you lost your memory. Be smart about it.
10-4, sir, I'm not hearing your question. That's a negative, sir. I got a 10-12 here. Over. Understood, sir.
Не буду я с тобой.
Roger that. 10-10.
A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat, and the pull-out toolbox.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Здесь 12, ты чё?
А это позывной типа какого-то тюбика, которого я, мать, видимо, оттарабанил. За вафлю, бля. Так, это
Пойдёт,
огнеходец, соедини меня... Бля, нет. Соедини меня с лазаретом.
It will take just a moment.
Her voices fade out into
Gottlieb, what do you want?
Готлиб.
He's carelessly chewing on a piece of hard candy.
Oh, it's you. With all the damage you've been dealing yourself with drugs and alcohol, I'm not surprised. What else? I'm not a brain doctor. Look on the bright side, you've got a whole new life now.
Бля,
Use it
хорош.
wisely.
Если потерял память, блядь, забудь обо всем, чё ты? У тебя теперь новая жизнь, бля, можешь с нового листа начинать.
It's
Пойдёт,
hard to say
согласен.
if he doesn't believe you or doesn't care.
Ну, отдельный совет по ощущениям.
What? You want me to do blood work for you again? Tell you just how bad things really are across the board? You want another rundown of everything collapsing inside your body? Do that. I need to go.
It's not fucking cryo-actylate. It's super glue, Doc.
Вот это, блядь, шприц.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
Так, еще мне надо с Сильвией
Of course.
поболтать.
What is the number, officer?
Yes, hold on. Her number is 00519.
Received. Hold on, officer.
Give it a minute. She might be busy at the moment. Takes a bit to get to...
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes, hello?
Тань, а ты что делаешь?
Нихуя.
Это, бля, мое уважение, нахуй.
Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
There is no resentment in her tone.
Интернетом.
She wants you to ask her out. No question about it.
No, not me. No, sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. People don't have the money
Блядь,
to have the
телефонов ни у кого
cable
нет,
to the
провода на
internet.
металл сдают,
They
ёбаные
use the
ротные.
Union's phone, or the one on the coast.
So the Union has a phone, and there's one further down the coast.
У
Это какие года?
Союза есть свой телефон, и еще один на берегу.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later,
Какие года,
officer.
Паш?
It just might take
Да
a
хуй
while.
его знает. Ну, тачку видишь, блин? Оцени.
What? Of course it
Ну,
bothers
умная,
me.
блядь.
But I thought the Union
Блядь,
already
такое,
knew about the
затачка,
court.
блядь.
No one calls the police. The Union would get angry. You know, what the Union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here. didn't want to get in trouble with the others.
Push her further. Show her the error of her ways.
The other people who live around here. Local people, You don't live here. You don't
Да
understand.
все я понял, бля.
Please, I just didn't want any trouble. You do? What else can I do for you? Yeah, go on. You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you.
Why not?
В смысле, блядь?
I,
Чай.
let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone.
Кого?
You
Говори
know who?
конкретно.
Maybe, I don't know. I just know I have to take some time off right now. Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer. The law. Oh, no, I haven't,
Здорово,
sorry.
помнишь меня? Скучная игра. Бля, скучная, но есть что посидеть подумать. Саша Ситов. Саша Ситов.
Санька
Да
был
как чё?
такой Ситов.
Врать не буду, не помню нихуя. Как-то вроде что-то, да, знакомо, но...
Да был, заходил, когда ты первый стрим спускал на ютубе.
А, да?
Саша, только он не Ситов, а Ситов.
А, бля, было, все, вот теперь вспомнил. Да,
Так
помню,
что
помню.
давай, повнимательнее.
Извинись
подписчикам.
ещё.
Сори, банку тебе покажу. А, нету, сори, бля, и банки. Ебался. Да, помню. Скучная игра. Слушай, скучная, но посидеть вот так. Преступление расследовать, понимаешь? Побродить по городу, там, тут, где движение понавести можно. У нас сегодня игроков нету. Саша, да, Ситов. Сори. Сразу вспомнили. Меня братишка, главный смотрящий, заказал, говорит, хочу расслабиться под диско Elysium. Игроков сегодня нет, бойцов Counter-Strike'овых. Это заднюю дали. Ну, а как все, бля, Андрюша зассал втроем биться.
Это мука, потому
Ну, а
что...
вдвоем мы не пошли. Серега работает, Леха не выспался, тоже спать пошел. Мы одну бомбанули, и добрый вечер. Ой, нет, прости. Не видела, короче, удостоверение на мое.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours?
Ты ж не видела, ты его проебал, да.
Yes, you absolutely should. It feels like you haven't worn yours in a long time.
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, detective. You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating and...
Sounds like it's going to be bad. Do you really want to know?
Я в смысле не хочу, где мой
You were
ствол,
waving it
блядь.
around in
Вы тыкали его
everyone's
всем в
face,
лицо.
begging them to describe
Умоляли
it.
описать,
You
что
said
они
it calms
видят.
you, and then you started making suicide jokes.
People tried to back away from you, or even slip out of the door. But you screamed,
Я
I am
закон,
the
бля, это как
goddamn
Андрюха, бля.
law, and you
Я
have to listen to
закон.
me. You are
И вы
all
будете меня
suspects
слушать.
in a murder investigation.
И вы все подозреваетесь в убийстве. Класс, бля.
Все лохи, кроме меня и моего друга.
There is silence on the other end of the line.
Me neither. No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money
Папками
instead.
потом начал
Saying
сорить.
things like big bucks cannot
Босс не
lie.
подводит.
Guns can't buy money, but money
Деньги
can
за
always
пушки
buy
не...
guns.
Бля, вот пушки за деньги вполне.
It almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me,
Заложили,
I did
бля.
not ask.
Ладно, что по форме.
Uniform? I I never saw you in any uniform. You had your things on. The disco things.
Прикид. Ну пойдет, согласен. Бля, не хочу, не хочешь со мной
No,
выпить?
absolutely not.
Бля, да в смысле? Я пока с ней пиздел, 2 единицы потерял боевого духа. Нахуй я вообще спросил это? У-у-у. Бля, да, тут за ошибки платить, похоже, придется. А чё не хочешь? У меня большая пушка. Ну, правда, я её...
I
Ладно.
do hope so. Please
звоните мне
don't call
больше.
me again. Bye.
Да. Пригласите ее на свидание. Шансы 40. Ну-ка.
Yes, you have
Ah.
obviously done something to upset her at the Whirling in Rags when she was still working there.
Раскрутил 42% сюда. Так, а можно мне таблетки съесть как-то или пока нельзя? А что ли? Мне там полегчало. Где это? А нельзя, да?
I'm not mad. It's just
Не
you were
сержусь.
so drunk and so emotional all the
Дым
time, and
пьяный, а
then
потом еще
the
эта
steward thing
история
happened.
с поморником.
Just made me want to quit. The stuffed bird, the great
Чудо
steward.
птица.
Threw it against the wall
Бля, это я его
while
разъебал в
screaming,
стену.
"Fuck that bird!"
Хер эта
and
птица.
laughing like a maniac.
Катал как умалишенный.
I think you said it had been giving you shit ever since you got there.
Блядская птица, это заслуга. Ой. Да.
Didn't seem like you had fun doing it, though. Yes, obviously. You were the worst client I've ever seen. I've had sailors fighting, union guys grabbing my ass, kids stealing booze. Once a guy was glued to the karaoke machine every night for 2 months. But you... Well, you were worse than all of them. Honestly, you... Even about little things like not turning down the volume at 3 a.m. I even liked one of those songs you kept listening to on repeat. No more. I hate it now. We Go On by the O.O. I can't listen to it anymore. You've turned it into a parody. To hell with that song. Then there was your room. Your project. An experiment to see how bad it can get in there. I tried to send the cleaner, but you wouldn't let me. Threatened to make me understand. I had no idea what you meant. And I don't want to know. And then you screamed something about how you're actually a real cool guy. And no one understands it. One of the coolest guys there is. The coolest guy in Jamrock. Something about disco, too. And then I had to deal with your toilet. The one you clogged with police documents, causing water damage downstairs in the kitchen.
Опа, в сортире, смотри, документы, бля, какие-то. Пойдет, сейчас пойдем на параш поковыряемся.
I won't even mention you waving your gun around, harassing customers, threatening to sing karaoke, threatening to kill yourself. The ones I had to wrench out of your toilet. Damn it, I don't remember what I did to your damn papers. I don't remember every little thing I did.
She's worried she might have accidentally done something bad. Then she...
Especially when there's a hurricane loose. It's your fault for losing them.
Something in you wants to immediately forget about this, as if there was a reason you threw them away.
No, you really weren't. You were simply the worst.
Да ты худшая барная девка в моей жизни, бля, пиздец. Ой. Бля, ладно, мне правда жаль.
God, I knew I shouldn't have brought it up. Just try not to call me again, and let's pretend it never happened.
Это на меня нахуй.
You hear a sigh of relief on the other end of the
Anything else I can help you with, officer? '57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio
Давай
on
еще
a
с
hook.
тачкой
The
пошел.
white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar in your palm. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector, indicating the engine.
There's no use pressing the heat button. It won't start without the ignition key.
Translation. We're not going anywhere. Alternative translation. Don't even think you can drive my MC.
Прикинь, блин. Ладно, погнали. Теперь таблеток надо, блядь, схавать. Так, платок, нахуй, инструменты, да? Что у нас? Монтировочка. Контейнер открывает. Блядь, куда поместить? А, то есть прям можно в руку взять, да? Контейнер ковырнуть. Пойдет. Так. За контейнером поместить. Это что? А, это тоже контейнер открывает. Находить скрытые сферы в темных местах. Можно, ладно, пойдет, запомнили. Где тут у меня таблетосы, бля, есть? Одежда, инструменты. А как? А, ну все, да? Больше у меня нету хилок. Бля, где они были? Непонятно. Так, ну чё, болтование поделали, да? Что тут у нас? Запросить дополнительный бюджет. Ага. Хуёв мне что дали бабок, да? Так, ну мне там про 2 телефона был разговор, да? 2 телефона. Петь, найдите свое удостоверение. Но я что-то в унитаз там смывал. Чама нашла, достала. Найдите свой пистолет. Кто-нибудь должен знать. Ну пойдем с этим потрещим. Ствол должен быть где-то тут. По-моему. Удостоверение у этого тюбика, который птицу чинит. Так, а тут тискалки открываются.
Can I help you? What thing? Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest. They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info. We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men. If not today...
There are these things called days. You sleep between them. He's saying they'll come after you've slept. Just making clear you got that.
What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business. He wasn't pan-fried, he was lynched. What could the kitchen possibly have to do with... Fine, okay, the kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the cook is working. You can snoop around after that, if you must. What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Yes, have you got it? A lot. For the drinks and broken window, 70. Like what? I was really enjoying absolutely out.
Absolutely in the question. First we find a sad banger. Then we sing this place to shit.
Так, ладно, что? Ну пойдем побродим еще по улице окрестности. Смотрим, что. До часу еще время есть.
Есть до часа время?
Мгм. Так, где я? Вы находитесь... Так, с этой трещал ты чё? Кто такая? Понял. Открывай стоит. Томми Леом. Я простак, я охотник, собиратель, смелый странник. Бормочет себе под нос мужичок. Делай акцент на ритме. Хорош.
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
Паха, не мужичок, блядь. Уфлачок, нахуй.
Молодец, Андрюша. Пятерку тебе ставлю, конечно. Конечно. Как пришелец из других миров. Заканчивает он. Это? Тут что-то кто-то сказал? Алло.
Что, пернул, нахуй?
Привет.
Здорово.
Происходит.
It's the jam, my man.
Нихуя.
Затор, дружище.
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Our brigade's up the street. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Upon days. Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout. Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already. So tell me, what do you need?
Да ладно, дальнобойщик это хорошо, но пойду покурю, бля. Серега говорит, что залетел. Ну-ка давай-ка, Серега, отметься в чатике. А то чувствую, ты меня можешь наебать. Ну. Что мне нужно? Ну, немножко мелочи, конечно, бы не помешало для рабочего класса. Да, хорош.
It's like whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out. Some pretty wild stuff I hear. Like a giant new power crane and half the company? I forget what exactly. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town too. Like a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
Ka-ching.
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do. Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
Думать, рефлексировать, отмечать. Ну давай-ка, что ты
What's
там
better than
подметил,
chasing
пожмурил?
transient pleasures? The more transient, the better. When one's ended, you can get onto the next one.
В моем теле говорит мне,
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs. A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees. Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that. Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, they usually get shipped to Grad and the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy. This rockin' beauty. Sure is, like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery? Neat. For carrying large quantities of cargo a long distance. These found tracksuits need to find their way to the kids way out in Wamrau and Laurent Bird somehow.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Так, ну что, стрельнем мелочь у него, бля? Всем зашквар. Давай попробуем.
Huh? Oh. No, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished work. The bosses, man. Makes sense. It sucks is what it does. Don't be a stranger.
Бля, мелочи не подкинул, бля, тюбик нахуй стоит тут. Фаун, бля, грузовичок его. Так, может мы можем тут что-нибудь воркнуть у него с грузовичка? Так, 12:23, скоро столовка откроется. Что у нас происходит? Глянцевый журнал. Самые крепкие мужчины, бля. В номере, блин, список, бля, не успел прочитать. Они гораздо более накачанные, чем ты, бля. Ну что, ну было и было. Jump Gems. Музыкальный журнал. Давай продавал.
Welcome to Rivachol.
Дальнобойщик-расист. Блядь. Добро пожаловать. Ну для Кима.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Rivachol. It's a lorry.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you behave.
Silence. The air between them becomes your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Ну давай Кима, конечно,
You
поддержим.
do make a cute couple. You know that.
Милая парочка. А делать бы тебя нахуй. Да? Своим вот этим кислоступом под говно.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Whatever you say, officers.
Че ты
Oh,
перевозишь?
not
нахуй?
much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation. Apples?
Яблоки.
Yeah, apples. I take it you had other...
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest, you were bested.
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races.
Бля, он сейчас плевывает все время нахуй.
Not the most popular topic nowadays, with
Что на
the
ютубе? Ну
coalition
что-то
in
он, да,
charge
что-то
and
он,
all.
бля, не уважает, походу,
You might
позицию.
want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep.
Change the topic. The way he says it makes it almost sound like a threat.
I'm not just racist. Look, I've read books. Huh? The science of racial theory has all been proved. Even if some people don't want. People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that. Oh?
Бля, ну конечно. Я такое не поддерживаю, так что иди там
Don't
нахер.
push your luck, runt.
Не испытывай удачу, пес. Нихуя себе, блядь. Бля. Есть здесь файт, Серега? Файт, бля, хочу зарубиться с
Looking
тюбиком.
for something, runt? Come to tell me to fuck.
Выскочил бы с ним, бля. Ему, бля, на двояка бы его расписали, на. Парите. Парите. Бля, тут эти бастовщики, бля, ебаные. О, бабло, бля, сюда, насорили, нахуй. Бля, мне надо 70 отдать, мне по 0,19 насыпает, бля. Наверх. Файт наверху. Там можно зарубиться что-то. Бля, вот с этим, бля, быком колхозным что-то не очень хочется файтиться. Без пушки, без своей. Кега с пивом. А? Может это оно? залезем в чью-то тачку. О, бабки. Да. Еще 60. Мы наскребем сейчас.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine.
Наверху слева. Заглянуть
The
в окно.
windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers. The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor,
это грузовичок
strength,
этого
and
ублюдка.
purity are glued to the back end of the cabin as a small perch to sleep. Large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtain.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
He was acting tough before. This probably scared him a bit. Who knows when it will come in handy? A slightly scared, racist lorryman.
Так, ну чё, пойдем, бля, да? Куда? Колёса. Иномарка в хорошем состоянии.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air. With the aid of a silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane. What did he do? You have no idea what you did a week ago. How would you know what this guy did many centuries ago? High above you, the king stands triumphantly oblivious to your...
Чуть по-любому можно было, да? Бабки есть где-нибудь? Бля, так их же сдавать можно. Почему не взять? Белая майка сюда. Что у нас там по одежке? А, у меня рубаха. Бля, сомнительная амбре, вонючая, бля, рубаха. Любая сила мне добавит майка. А рубаха, концептуализация. Слева от тачки твоей есть ломбард. Ага, ну там ствол мой заложенный по-любому, да? Снизу от тачки. А, сейчас разберемся, еще побродим везде, посмотрим. Было бы неплохо, конечно, бабла найти. Так, а что мы тут можем что-то делать? Что не бастуешь?
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your... No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to nothing. Her smile just keeps... No, this one is a monster in disguise.
Это чудовище.
Чё
Wait.
надо, внучара?
Не дает мне Ким
She's just a
щелкнуть.
distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone. Why? I just told you why.
Блять, да что ты сказал-то? Что она не в себе. Пиздец. Она бойщица ёбнутая. Нахуй права давал. Так, ладно, пойдем с амбалом поговорим. Понравился здоровый дядька. Он чтоб он нам ебушку не набил.
А он набьет.
Не, я, бля, при исполнении. При исполнении, на. Не, видишь, бля, перчули какие.
Bastards!
Лидер.
We have a right
Пистащик.
to work!
А, это работяга работать хочет, блядь. Ублюдки, у нас есть право работать, блядь. Орёт мужчина.
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
Вон там наверху ноги, видишь? Над воротами. А, бля.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down. We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes.
Бля, ну я не хочу драться.
Good. We're fighting for a cause here.
Right to work!
Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence. Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cop, I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the...
Right!
Maybe you should ask them the questions. Like, what we have
А давай ты
families
не
to
будешь мне, бля, рассказывать, что мне делать.
So do
бля.
we, Scott.
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. You trying to meet their fat boss? I know nothing about a murder. Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs. They'd do anything to stay alive.
Right to work!
It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
We are not picking a side in this just yet, sir.
Pity.
Let us work!
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, it beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights. While
When the man moves around, you perceive some serious abs underneath his tight-fitting shirt. There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting. His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence. He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what.
Ну, блядь, шмотки где-то, да?
honest men and women with rights to work. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, They ought to let indulge.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were.
You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
What's it to you? Big mess, caused by union greed. But I only fight for the rights of people. We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill. Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell? Uh-huh. It was a long time ago. What's it to you? Big mess, caused by union greed. But I only fight for them. We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo haul. Worked at Territorial. Ring up. We're done here. I have a strike to break. Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you! Things are busy enough. You're going to waste less of my time?
The hulking man oozes stark skepticism.
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. I try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guards blocking the way. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is. Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The access panel is right behind him. Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke. And my men are tired and hungry. They're like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't understand civilized.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then, we charge.
Бля, какие-то тюбики, бля. Мелочи тут не накидано.
Scab?
Маньяна, бля. Дай меня маньяна, пойдет. О, мы забрались, да, кот?
What did he just call you? Oh no, not this again. You just got away from that fucking kid.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the wild north. Come to see the strife? Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder. Of course, Policia. It wasn't me. You can rule me out. Easier that way.
He didn't do it. It's the truth.
My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range awaits. I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
If it's so simple, why did the scab leader warn you of the guards blocking the way?
Бля, интересно, как ему напишет, блядь, как он...
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in. Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini Supremus is there. Walk right past him. Then press the button to unlock the door. Then go past him again. And you enter the arbor through the office. Está.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffled.
You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing with the organization.
Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
Бля, нельзя рубаху надеть, плюс одну дает. Давай,
The
давай,
coin lands into your hand
сюда.
as if it has always belonged
Монетка
there.
ложится тебе в руку,
Swallow
словно ей
returns.
там и место. Спасибо.
Always glad to help out the RCM. Shame I can't do more. Things are meager at the moment due to, you know, the winter's fat is slowly running out and all. Still better than scabbing though. Nothing to worry about really. The jam's a bit of a mess, cargo can't get in or out. The rationing is a bit stricter is all. Supplies should last the strike though. I'm always glad to help out when possible. Not like these slithering scabs.
Так, и чё, Серега? Задонатил бан. Но я так понял, если я открою ворота, всем будет заебись. Но вот с тем громилой, да, придется зачукаться. Бля, а можно тут сохраниться? Сейчас зачукаемся. По разам выскочим, загрузимся. Через забастовки откройте крышку, нажмите. Замок. Не получится ни вскрыть, ни выбить. Чайфомка мне не поможет. Ладно. Цепочками нельзя тут перетереть. Бля, перед телочками, да? Выскочить. Бум-бум-бум-бум. Или пойти еще походить, ствол поискать. Че, валить его? Ну, валить, что, да? Я же сотрудник полиции при исполнении. Ствол искать. О, там тем более половка открылась. Давай, нет, давай базарь. Да в смысле базарь? Хочешь, чтобы я затерпел? Давай базарь будет по кайфу. Бля, мне не нравится Серега. По кайфу. А он меня выстегнет сейчас. Ладно, мы сохранились, если что. Мы сохранились. Да, согласен. Ну чё, тюбик?
Your body betrays your
Тело
degeneracy.
выдает твою дегенеративную сущность. Бля, пиздец, ты уже набазарил, блядь, на пиздюлей, нахуй.
Yeah, Measurehead. His
Подружка
body totally
головомера.
betrays his
Точно,
degeneracy.
головомер, бля. Его тело... Ой, тебе бы я, бля, вклепал бы, если бы не головомер. А девица, бля. Мое тело не имеет значения, я
That
сотрудник
is
преисполнения.
precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to
Бля, что я в
Al-Ghul.
лапах Алгуля, бля. В своих богов, бля, верит.
You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
У меня нет проблем с Алгулем, я просто выпиваю по выходным. Да?
Your mouth moves,
Твои губы
but the one
двигаются,
who
но говорит имя
speaks
Алгуль,
is
бля.
Al-Ghul. You are
Иди нахуй, я сегодня, у меня ни капли Алгуля не было во
is
рту.
done giving orders around
Ни
here.
капли Альгуля,
The
ни
influence
сантиметра
of
через
the Am Sandwich race is waning.
Бля, что ему объяснять? Ты обязан, не
Jerking motions, signs of a late-stage neurodegenerative disorder. How far the Occidental haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful. You dominated lesser culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right?
It is, baby, yeah. You know.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
That is right. You should leave the stage of history with dignity. By inviting the other race, bring your troops to the Simonine Island. The walls
Ким, у
will be
тебя пушка
lined
есть?
with bottles of Al-Ghul. You'll be
This is your chance. He's talking. Rip into him with a punch.
Проведи
Catch him off
дистанцию,
guard.
бей. Заставь его врасплох.
Don't rip into anyone. You're sensitive.
Честно
Remember?
словами.
Communicate.
Согласиться с его современной расой. Грубая сила. Бля, 28%, свалить его с ног. Поехали, рискуем, а? У меня майка, бля, надета. На +1 к силе. Ну чё? И, блядь, прокачано у меня. Поехали. А? Сюда, тюбик. Блядь.
How did this happen? Your little fist is in his giant hand, and he's squeezing it.
Бля, за пушку хватайся. Ким?
You must be out of your mind.
Бля,
degenerate
дегенеративная
drunk.
пьянь.
Say it. I am a degenerate
Говори, я
alcoholic.
опустившийся алкоголик, бля. Андрюха, он меня заставляет, что делать? Андрюха. Он меня, бля, за руку схватил, ломает мне пальцы, сука. Говорит, чтобы я признавался, что я алкоголик опустившийся.
Всё, так и есть, давайся.
Я полицейский, я пошел ты нахер, я опустился. Нет, пошел ты нахер, мы не
Your
терпил.
fist cracks in his hand, the right apple.
Сука, сломал
Pain
палец
shoots
мне.
up into your brain as he's twisting
Словно
it
спелое
more.
яблоко.
The words to the song have
Говори,
changed.
я агрессивная пьянь.
Say, I am of
Your hand twists in his grip,
Да что такое?
blinds you. Still the crystal
Боль у
words
меня
out of your
темнеет в
swollen
глазах. Ким, ты чё там стоишь, АФК, блядь? Ствол достань, стрельни ему в колено, блядь.
Good. Now leave before you humiliate your homoerotic organization any further.
Блять. Ну и чё, и как? Это мы пофайтились, называется. Нет. Ладно, что там у меня? Равные шансы. Согласимся тогда с ним.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you?
В смысле, бля? Вот так? А ты как думал? Ты, бля, ствол не достал, блядь, тюбик нахуй. Тоже стоишь помощник хуев.
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door, and then to you.
You are obviously a liberal, Saillight. There
Да
are
пошел
three
ты нахуй,
categories.
слышишь, иди ты нахуй с своими категориями, загрузить игру, сейчас мы будем, блядь, крутить эти 28%. Бля, блядь, все пальцы мне переломал, нахуй. Сука. Ему в челюгу. Так вот, я и втащил, блядь, в челюгу ему, нахуй. Ну пойду покурю, блядь. Я почти втащил, он поймал мой кулачок. Как спелое яблочко его сжал, нахуй. Пиздец. Так, ну чё? Быка колхозного идем попускать? Иди сюда, бля.
Yeah,
Да.
Measurehead. His body
Так,
totally
мое
betrays
тело не имеет значения, я сотрудник.
An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges.
У
Your
меня нет
mouse
проблем с Al-Ghul'ем.
Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around.
Обязан мне
Jerking
подчиниться.
motions. You gave, you don't, you will be.
It is, babe.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one
Так,
that opens
оттолкнуть
the
его с дороги. На!
That is right.
Пробили
Bring your
дышло.
troops, you walls.
This is your chip. No, don't rip into anyone.
Опасно,
You're
28%.
sensitive.
Поехали еще раз.
Remember?
Челюгу.
Communicate.
На! Пес. Опа! Левый снизу, а? Чё? Как себя чувствуешь,
Just like
Вась?
that.
А?
Instinct took over.
Вот они инстинкты.
solid strike
Я тебе говорю, я
straight
ж
into
занимался. Я ж подготовленный сотрудник.
Онлайн чиздишься или там?
You could
пошаришь?
swear
Не-не-не,
you felt
втащил
the
ему
fire
из-под
breath.
тишочка. Кадычок, нахуй. А? Все, теперь цыпочки все мои. Сильный прямой в горло, бля. Да какой сильный, какой прямой там? Снизу, бля. Левый снизу. Уклончик, левый снизу. Ты почти чувствуешь, как ломается хрящ.
The man is reeling, gasping for air. Time stands
Ловит
still
ртом
around you.
воздух, бля.
In the distance, all you hear is a small gurgling sound as a trickle of blood appears on the
Как
man's
крови.
lip.
Ну, блядь, не без этого.
He's open. Rip into
Рви
it.
дистанцию,
Right
правый
hook.
хук, потом рывок.
Escalate it. Get intimate with
Познакомь
him.
его с болью поближе.
Bring the hurt closer.
Блять. Отступить нахуй назад и нанести удар в прыжке с разворотом на 360. Да я, блядь, ёбнусь с моста. Алло. Разорвать дистанцию с правым хуком, бля. Иди сюда, сынуля. Да, блядь.
Oh God.
А,
Your head is in his hands, like a pair of forceps crushing you, and you can feel every jewel.
Say it.
неприятно.
I am a degenerate drunk.
Take the pain, goddammit. At least take that.
Как такое вышло? Я же побеждал. Бля. Я, бля, опустившийся пьяница. Попробовать как-то высвободиться из ухватки. Да, под говно ему спыра, блядь, кислоступом своим. Давай, поехали. Опа!
Even under the increased force on your skull,
Что-то уебал
there is
с
no
недоступа,
pain.
нет еще?
Just the
Не-не-не, он
sound
меня
of
за
your
башку
own
схватил,
blood
блядь.
gushing in there,
А, и на
feeding
клыка
your
тебе
mind
наяривает.
with
Ну пока нет, блядь.
You are a poor player of physical chess.
Попробовать еще раз вырубить его хуком справа, бля. Ну 2 раза не проканает, но мы попробуем. Да, бля.
How did this happen? Your little fist is in his giant
Серега, его
hand,
можно
and he's
забить или
squeezing
нет, нахуй?
it. It hurts.
You must be out of your mind, degenerate drunk.
Your fist cracks in his hand like a ripe apple.
The words to the song have changed.
Your hand twists.
Good. Now leave
Сука,
before you
ну а как мне 2 раза
humiliate your
шансик этот прокрутить?
homoerotic.
Пиздец. Серега. Ну я хочу забить его. Видимо, не мое, да? Бля, а сейчас если проканает, я вертушку крутану на 360. Въебу ему нахуй. Наверное, хотя это точно фатально. Бля, будем пытаться, чё.
Nobody betrays your
Мне не
Yeah,
нравится.
Measurehead. His body
That is precise. You reek of it. An invisible. Your mouse. Occidental haplogroup B4. Jerking motion.
100%.
Sign. You gave. You don't. You will.
It is, babe.
There is a
Но я за
button
тебя,
right
брат,
behind him.
болею, пиздец, переживаю.
That is right. Bring your troops. You all.
This is your chance. No, don't rip into anyone. You're
Поехали.
sensitive.
Блять,
Remember,
опять
communicate.
сразу нас заловил, сука.
How did this?
You must be.
Your fist cracks in it.
The words to the song. Good. Now leave before you humiliate your homoerotic.
Как будто, бля, брат, без шансов тут нахуй.
28% говорит. Я ему один раз втащил. Он немножечко подосунулся. И там была опция хуком его добить. Или с вертушки, бля, бомбануть. Но 360 вертушка, бля, я думаю, не в моем стиле вообще. Сейчас будем пробовать.
Не в моем, с такими усами как раз вдвоем, блядь.
Yeah, Measurehead. He's body.
That is you reek of it. An invisible. Your mouth occidental upload group B4.
Я пытаюсь одно и то же.
Around here. The jerking motions. Sign you gave. You don't. You will.
It is bad.
There is a button right behind.
That is right. Bring your to wall.
This is your chip. No, don't rip into anyone. You're sensitive.
Да.
Remember?
Поехали.
Communicate.
Смотри, опа, и все, кадычок, да? Ну чё, еще
Just
раз
like
пробуем.
that. The man, all you hear is
Не, ну
a
наверное
piece
тут
over,
заскриптовано,
rip
да?
into
Вот это
it.
с правым
Right
хуком.
hook. Escalated.
Давай
Get.
вертушку. Бля, я упаду сейчас. Сюда, нахуй. Что-то я себя недооценил. Действительно, вертушечка. Не, ты смотри дальше, что я с ним сделаю, нахуй. Бля, я же танцор, диско, точно, бля, это для меня легко должно было быть. Я что-то думал, на кулачках его сложу.
No. Я ебу, блядь. Я же тебе говорю, 360 с такими усами, блядь. Да изи, блядь.
Диско Инферно, нахуй. Там было по... Там, блядь, добро пожаловать в Ревашоль, это, бля, российская тема. Бля, ну по факту я не хотел... Бля, ну нет, я хотел на самом деле. Давай, кричим Диско Инферно и нажимаем кнопку, да? Ну, бля, свертушка была четкая. Реально Диско Инферно.
You slam your fist on the button. The man collapses entirely.
Looks like you're the new Measurehead now.
Да-да, я тут теперь новый головомер, бля. Выпьешь со мной?
No one is the new Measurehead. Let's go before he gets up.
Так, и эти мне бабла должны все. Ага, чуть, блядь, сундучок не провафлили. А тут пиастер был. Так, чё, потрещим с ним? Чё, как он там вообще? Бля, не, подожди, давай сохранимся. Такой шанс накрутили, бля. Бля, Серега, ты видел или нет, как я его распетлял, на?
The man is still knocked out. It'll take a few moments for him to recover.
Ладно, в себя придет, обсудим, блядь. Кто тут Алгуль, нахуй, кто чё, блядь. Угу. Не, ну он, конечно, слишком много на себя взял. Никуда не годится. Так, что теперь мы эту дверь можем открыть, да? Красиво залил соляра. Офис, бля, пойдет. Вот тут и докопаемся до истины. Каждый рабочий член правления. Дэви, название на машинке. Так, давай пошныряем. Конторский шкаф с картотекой. Кофемашину включенную. Ну-ка, заварить кофейка. Существо кофе. Журнальчик. Ну-ка, ну-ка. Книга. Краткая, блядь. Краткое описание инфраматериализма, блядь. Предназначен для широкой аудитории. В заднем кармане.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friso. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover. Because white antlers are one of the symbols of communism, They represent a society in accord with the natural, a shameful way to treat a former king. Even one as because Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to. To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just after rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the magazine is divided into several sections. International developments, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note. Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structure, but like the structures of capitalism, only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrupt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations, and you also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina. Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign. You flip back to the front of the magazine. It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must. Why they decided to title this one section in Volda. It evokes a sense of recognition and fellowship among those privileged enough to understand. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective. This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer. The actual article is surprisingly light on details, but after skimming a page or two, you gather that if you don't follow it, you only ever hear about the ludicrous sponsorships and obscene death toll. You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season. Maybe, instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects. Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships. And then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes. Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines. Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka. Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Thus, the so-called tournée becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing again. And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, at the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for. Sure, you think that, but subconsciously, it's the vision. This flimsy magazine is right. Deep down, you know the only true stakes are life and glory, or death. But that's because you haven't been reading critically. But don't worry. The whole point of these sorts of articles is to let someone else read critically for you.
come on. Can this article read your mind? A certain kind of young man reads 1 or 2 books and suddenly thinks he understands the secret structures of reality. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they...
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for... You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
I don't kill you, I don't shoot.
According to these editorials, there can be no accommodation with the forces of international capital, or judging from the context, it's something very large and fundamental. You should probably know about. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of The face of King Freecell smiles at you. Unsurprisingly, you skim. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. One of the editorials proclaims that the more the forces of reaction attempt to crush the body, sounds like their bodies just haven't been crushed enough yet. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents. Unsurprisingly, you skim. Finally, there's a brief article. According to these editorials, private enterprise, it goes on to call the Wild Pines a nightmarish You flip back to the front. Unsurprisingly, you skim the headline. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer G. Martin remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution. You flip back to the front. Unsurprising, you skim the headlines. Finally, there's a brief article. The eternal problem, according to G. Martin, is that under capitalism, the worker, thus they tend to experience their own oppression as though it were happening to... Is that true? Have you felt estranged from your own self recently? You flip back to the front of the magazine.
Ладно, бля, журнал почитали, я думал, что-то нам навалит, блядь, XP какой-нибудь.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close.
It's unfortunate for the union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
Сам развился, ёпта, немножко.
Ну да, почитал говно.
Let's see what's inside, he thinks. The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of hundreds of documents containing logistical data. 2 kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming and the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol, Couron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry. Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note. It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everard's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everard's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out and the note itself is crumpled.
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list. What is so special about this borscht? Code for drugs? Booze? Blood? Remember, Leo, Everard's shoes. Special. All items on the list have been... The drawer slides shut.
Особый борщ, бля, надо узнать, что это за особый борщ. О, автосохраночка, пойдет. Что тут у нас? Открытка Лежардан 21, блядь. Берем, бля. Открытка. Цена, бля, 34 бакса. Можно как-то посмотреть? А. Открытка с видом на другую сторону после войны. Можно продать за кругленькую сумму, блядь. 4 цента. Бля, пиздец, что какая нахуй сумма? У меня, блядь, денег нет. Бля, и времени до хера уже, кстати, надо, бля, в столовку гнать. Магний, бля, пойдет. Блять, мы как раз потеряли весь магний. Опа! Визуальный анализ. Минус драма. Ну и хуй на драму. Че на драма? Да? Где мои очечи? Я диско. Диско паха. Идет. Бля, почему они так не вставляются? Не так. Вот. Бля, очки спиздил. Хуеть.
Ты пойман за руку как дешевка. Ты дешевый вор и главное лжец.
Какой я вор,
дешевка.
Просто очки взял пофорсить. Я положу, приду. И зато смотри, какой я диско. Бля, как он головой мотает еще. Шикарно. Пойду испускает странное жужжание она. Опа,
An
телефон.
imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, "Tokens unavailable due to strike."
Я читал, что могу, но там типа... А чё, в смысле как оружку? То есть я мог ему монтировкой втащить, и там терпили? Или нет? Вот ты меня разыгрываешь. Ой, будь здоров.
Спасибо, брат. Спасибо большое.
Ой,
ты тут, роднулькин. Спасибо, брат.
Бля, 10 центимов. 10 центов. У меня сколько? Бля, чё, звоним? Блин, давай позвоним.
The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move.
О, мощная память. Поехали.
Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code. Calling. Calling. Still calling. Then.
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. You rent 8 and 10 millimeter film for home use. This is Lamy. How may I help you?
Как, бля, фильмы на 8-10 пленки.
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10 millimeter film for home use. This is Lamy.
Бля, ты меня знаешь?
No.
Нет.
Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period?
Амброзиус, куста, блядь. Да не куста я. Бля, да, проверим.
Raphael, what? Listen, I can't help you over the phone. If you need further assistance, you can visit us on the corner of Voyager and Main. Are we done?
On the corner of Voyager and Main, a large neon sign hangs on the side of a building. Video tiny heels, tiptoeing. Suddenly, you feel like you don't want to hear about video rentals anymore. You don't want to hear about any of it. It was all shit. It's over.
That's enough for you today. Let's conclude this call.
It.
Бля, за 10 центов позвонили, видеопрокат, блядь, какой-то. Охуеть номер я нахуй вспомнил. Так, мы что-то куда-то, да, выбрались. О, плащик. Сюда.
Looks like someone left his
Плащ
tarpaulin
полицейского.
cloak hanging on the railing here. The white rectangle of the Revachol citizen. This is your cloak. You can feel it.
Yes, it does bear the RCM insignia. And we are the only detectives. The service cloak issued to you by your station? Yes, yes, I do.
As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, it almost feels like I will shield you from the elements and give my life for yours.
Сюда, там по-любому еще в карманце, да, должно быть и удостоверение мое. подожди, не помню. Полицейского. Стильный диско-блейзер, бля. Плюс 1 полицейская волна. Хуй знает, что это такое. А плащ мне что дает? Трепет, бля, и полицейского. Бля, трепет. Ты крышу выше прыгал за ним, бля. Пойдет. Ну все, нарядили, бля, бать плащ. Бля, вот эта бомжовская, конечно, майка. Грубую силу она мне дает. Бля, ну вонючая рубаха. Нет. Ладно, давай майки вонючие. Для сбора дождевого. Хождением что-то тяжело. Что еще?
A rusting control panel with several knobs. Marsh. On. Arrête.
Это майна, бля, уйти, пока ничего не будем делать. А, это эти цепочки. Пока ничего не будем делать. Ладно, пойдем в столовку зайдем, потому что время уже до хера. Столовка открылась. Надо там пошукать. Я монеты видел, с поваром перетрем, может там чё кого. Потом вернемся. Не весело, говорит, ему было. Как с галстуком можно было, бля, шею сломать, нахуй. Дверь заперта. А чё, ну ладно, смотри, я не могу выбраться. Все закрыто. Мне с кем-то тут перетереть. Или пойдем, чё, кран опустим. Туда тоже сгоняем. Пустых бутылок красного мандорана. А нельзя их забрать? Я видел там аппарат, в который сдавать можно. Не, почему не дают? Конкретные бычки. Бычки 3 не имеют.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads René Arnaud. Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down and have a breather.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man is young, dark-skinned, and dressed in a...
Why did you take that? Fine, but let's move. I don't want to be seen snooping around here.
The chair is not as austere as the rest of the booth. A thin grey pillow is attached to the seat, secured to the stiles by black ribbons. The drawers are empty, save for old timesheets and receipts. One small box, however, does hold some cheap painkillers. They are slightly out of date. You stand and exit the... Numerous empty wine bottles glisten in the rain. Someone partied really, really hard here.
Бля, это похоже на меня, да? И плащ мой здесь валялся.
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you. Yes, this scene isn't exactly ripping with joy. Let's just move on.
Да, что-то тут посидел я, покутил, бля. Ладно, погнали, тут что-то надо, бля. Мне надо что-то опустить, да?
A rusting marsh.
Марш. Ну давай.
Erect. The crane stands tall, proud, erect, and still. With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
Здесь никого там, бля, не прихуйнет.
And with a surprisingly quiet thump, the harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled. Moving this container, of course. For this purpose it was built.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
Пойдем, бля, откроем контейнерочек. Засейвимся. Ёбнется. Да?
Before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard.
You do? Because I don't. There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? You just picked one out because you wanted to interact with a cargo container. We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to talk to the Union, right?
You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. The doors see to your left. The lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement. No reply.
Бля, ну что-то шанс 3%, как будто бы. Где там фомочка моя, бля? Бля, что в левую? Давай-ка в правую.
You're back before the cargo container. You attempt to turn the handle. To your left.
Это мне не помогает. Где тут, что тут, блядь? Глава там какого-то профсоюза, мне, блядь, не... Перчатки серии Ультра, блядь. Вот это перчаточки, как в PS, как в контрушечке.
container, I'll turn you nice and red.
The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisund.
Container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, now belongs to Everard. Everard, he looks after everyone. Huh? I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you? I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat. Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister. Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them.
Told you.
Oh, you want Mr. Everard then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood. Guys like Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were
Где они, бля,
boys.
придурочные?
Oh, Mr. Everard is where he always is. In his office, of course. Oh, yes. Born and raised in Irish. People say us.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
Ну-ка, давай, логика прокачана.
Everything is so pretty and red. You and Leo look like brothers as you glance around with similar childlike wonder.
Sure is, mister. Sure is.
I had to break this bonding moment, but the red containers mean they are replacing the company livery with the union livery, which means this strike isn't gonna stop anytime soon.
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. We haven't worked for...
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard is in his office, but Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so. Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling them to take some time off. I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know.
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hearties.
I remember I was the runt of the class. But Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar are real nice guys, mister. You should go talk to Mr. Everett. Oh, we're on a...
So no...
Not everyone, but Titus and his boys got into some drunken... Oh, I'm not really... Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank... I guess the boys...
Easy, Leo. Let's...
Too late. Leo's mouth is still moving, and the words are spewing forth. Words, and look, even more. Now he's talking about some drunk sawmill owner who... No, he already switched to a prized...
Yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is... I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town. Actually, Miss Beaufort is their...
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy, but I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here, and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes, I am. Oh, Lizzie? She is a real sharp tool, but she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood. Knows everybody and gets a... If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real... Dr. Lemaitre said so. And she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years, she has.
So Everard trained a lawyer named Miss Beaufort. Interesting.
Yes, this place really seems to run like clockwork. Keep it up, Leo.
Well, thanks a lot. Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them. Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs
Power borscht, huh? Never heard of a borscht that turns little guys into dogfighters. Alcohol, however.
Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags. Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir. Bye-bye now.
А, бля. Я не могу качнуть. Решение уровня. Да, могу какой-то. О. Бля, а чё качнуть? Грубую силу я качнул, но с быком с этим колхозным еле справился. Блять. Бу-бу-бу. Бля, очень сложно. Ладно, давай пока не будем. Сейчас качнем. Опять работает. Так, бочки с кофе. Аля. Вот. За пассажирами. Это здоровый нахуй.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply...
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
Господин Дюбуа. Все-таки, да? Дюбуа.
I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in my... I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up.
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist.
Буду я садиться, бля, на твой складной, бля.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions.
Его подбородки колышутся.
I too have convictions. One of which is that I will not engage with any man who won't face me at eye level. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to...
You're no Titan of Elysium, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union...
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Еще и ХП потерял, блин, на стул присел.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Hey, that's 25 real. That's good money. Think of all the stuff you could.
А мне вообще бабки-то нужны. 25 реалов, правда, мне на 70. О, бля. Ну я уже забыл, бля, кто такой Гард. Управляющий, что ли? Шкимон. Че он меня на стул посадил, на уебищный? Да? Кто-то в сраку. Не нравишься.
Okay, okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun.
Бери все квесты. Так а чё, какие квесты? Он мне чек предлагал. На бабки. Я его нахер послал. А тут за квесты вроде нет базаров. Но он меня на стул усадил, на уебищный. ХП потерял. Я расстроился.
The world is swallowed by a black hole of
Да,
fear.
бля, меня опять
Only
ударили.
2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
I know everything, Harry. Right now, I know that you're worried. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
Что он меня душит, бля.
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need...
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it.
Mr. Dubois, you don't...
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What?
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
Желе. Это... Надо было бабки, может, взять.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or...
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're waiting.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors. And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colors, Harry. This really is very...
Does this jiggling ooze think he's going to use you? He's got another thing coming. Play his game, son, with your eyes peeled. He's going to slip up, and when he does, you're going to come out on top.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have...
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady brew? There are... You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me. Just one thing. If you can...
He sincerely has no idea what you were talking about. And he doesn't care either.
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking... Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Да, ясно.
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means. I'm only kidding, of course.
He is not.
Of course. I understand. We help you, you help us.
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry. My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you?
I think the odds of that are very low.
I assure you, there's nothing to be ashamed of, Harry. You're among friends, and the good news is, I have a big fat folder on you, Harry. I'm sure you have a lot of questions to ask.
Don't trust him. For all you know, Dubois might be his name. You need to...
I'm sure you had some concerns you thought I might be able to address. And you were probably right.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now. It's Harry. Harry Dubois.
You don't feel like either one of these things. You know what your name is. You have a sophisticated name, like that of a count, or a beautiful man.
And I can work with you, Harry. Now, what else can I do for you? But of course, Harry. Your precinct is the 41st and you live in Jamrock. You're a Jamrock boy. A long way from home, but that's okay. Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? That's why I like you, Harry. A good man knows both his strengths and his weaknesses, and you, my friend, you are one of the all-time greats. Harry, you're not simply a cop, you're a star. A bright shining star in the drab law enforcement sky, outshining all other stars. You're a superstar. Of course I do, Harry. And I'm gonna help you shine.
The giant neon sign reading Harry Dubois, hanging from the Cavalson crane somewhere in Mirova, a
Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry.
I find that very suspicious. May I?
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry.
Everart's large hands are covering the folder, but the look on his face says, I know everything about you, Harry.
Oh, Harry. Oh, wow. This is really something.
I'm sure it's not that bad. At worst, he has an old RCM folder, and I very much doubt even that.
So how about it, Harry? Of course, Harry, of course. Let's not linger on personal details and amnesia. You wanted something from me. Let's hear it, Harry. Of course, Harry, of course. Am I going to ask? Hell, Harry. You spin-kicked my strongest man in the face. I saw it from my window. Would you ask a man like that how he got into your container yard? Don't worry, Harry. Between you and me, I'm not a huge fan of his race thing. But the Union did not get where we are today. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law. What are you? Deaf? They're perfect, like rock star politician and drug addict teacher. Embrace the superstardom you've worked so hard to Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen, Salem Rocky Baye, badass on the edge disco cop. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome salute.
Ой, блядь, так, ладно, что-то я утомился. Игра как будто бы интересная, но, блядь, тяжелая. Давайте засейвимся. Или нет, или не будем сейвиться. Может, с ним перетрещим в следующий раз. Еще раз возьмем бабки. 5 баксов не лишние. Да. Выход. Да. Игра очень интересная, бля, увлекательная. Но похоже, что не для меня. Я что-то утомляюсь без того. Нахуй. Я налетел. Очень тяжело. Господа, вы тут, мужчины?
Я, да, Андрюх куда-то офнулся.
Андрюха в Counter-Strike 2 играет, нахуй. Учится-то. Жестко биться. Андрюха в Тарков свой вонючий играет. А может, надо его на этот... На охоту подсадить, Саня?
Подсади.
Ну
В
так это
охоту
надо
играть.
тебя посадить тоже. Не хотите никак нормально, жестко доминировать, блядь, а? Втроем сидим, вот что так выдрачивать? А? Есть инфа?
Нету.
Игру для троих надо, значит. Значит, это охота, получается, так? Таня, ну скажи да. Тань.
Не скажу.
Конечно, не нравишься, когда так ведешь себя. Тебя наказать.
Меня
Сашка
нельзя.
Стенька. Так вот, поэтому не наказываю. Так, ну ладно, что, зрители мои, Сереженька. Дота. Бля, да какая дота? Саню в доту не ногой, нахуй. Илюха, может, и пошел бы. Но нет, дота тяжело очень.
А ты,
Дота
Серега,
прям
бы
очень
пошел бы.
тяжело.
Серега, ты, наверное, сам бы не пошел.
Ну да. Хотя багато дотер еще тот, но. Игра для троих. Потому что игра для одного неинтересна. Это Текин там, да, наверное. Текин. По новый предметик. Сейчас смотрим, что карточки. За 2,49. Спирал какой. Им нахуй. Там, бля, пах. Дюбуа за 3,08. Ну, это Дота. Дота. Копи Playtime, блядь. Продаж. Это мапчик бы крепенький, я бы порубился. Кстати. Но что-то дорого, очень дорого стоит. Там нету нихуя. Ждать долго. Steam не пополняется. Это долго, дорого.
Алло.
О,
О,
Андрюха
Андрюха,
вернулся.
здорово.
Здорово, блядь.
Андрюха, что ты охоту-то поставился?
Нет, не поступало заявок, блядь.
Надо вместо Таркова найти в охоту с тобой, брат.
Нет, тебе надо, ты иди нахуй, мне нахуй не надо.
Тебе не надо?
Серега
Мне
какой,
нет.
да? Че, злой пришел, блядь.
Почему злой, не злой, просто говорю, мне нахуй не надо.
Ладно.
Нахуя мне, блядь, охота? Вдвоем идти играть в охоту?
Ну, лучше бы втроем, конечно, но Санька совсем плохой.
Ну, видишь, Саня не хочет, кабель не вскочит, поэтому. Сори. Саня, если не будет качать, мне вообще нахуй. Ваш хант не нужен, блядь.
Хорош.
Я за братишку, за Сашку, нахуй.
Ну, совсем тяжело прям. Да не во что.
Играть не во что? Что, ты прошел Elysium?
Да что-то мне как-то так он, слишком он, блядь, муторный. Дохуя чтений, мало экшона.
Ну, этого следовало ожидать от такой игрульки.
М.
Как будто бы. Как будто бы, нахуй, бы да
А ты чё из
кабы.
КС вышел-то?
Блять, я только заметил, блять.
Кто
Дело
накрутил там,
сидел,
нахуй?
хуярил на двух мониторах, блядь.
Я нахуй не видел. Бля, почему я забываю нахуй из нее выходить с этой хуйни, блять?
Конечно, блядь, пиздец. Какой мощный комп, нахуй. Можно, блядь, и то, блядь, запускать, нахуй.
Бля, ебать маска прикольная. Очень нравится. Комп, комп мощный, да, пиздец. Мощнецкий нахуй.
Бля, реакция тоже как комп, нахуй.
Ну я занят, Саш, блядь. Я играю, блядь. Ты нахуй лезешь, блядь. Так что давай, ты не будешь выебываться, я не буду тебя пиздохать, хорошо?
Ну, хуй знает.
Ну да, такое себе предложение-то.
Да,
Нафиг,
что-то
блядь.
Серега что-то мне не отвечает, нахуй. Ливанул уже тюбик, нахуй.
Тюбик от Саши, блядь. Слышать тюбик, блядь, очень смешно. Мне нравится.
Ливанул походу. Ну, в доту паху зазвал и ливанул, бля. На котле, бля, Серега, за 10 рублей, нахуй. Каточку.
В доту тебя зазывал?
Да.
Серега говорит, пойдет в доту.
И пошел?
Сам тюбик. Здесь еще. Здесь бродяга. Так, а время что? Время уже офать. Ладно, да, что-то мы игр не найдем, сторонников не найдем. Бом-бом. Так, ладно, что, зрители мои, любимые, Серега, братва, всем всего хорошего, хорошего настроения. Диско Elysium повторили мы, попробовали, как будто бы не наша тема. А больше не будет. Но засчитано. Ладно, что, всем всего хорошего, хорошего настроения. Всем пока.